Holy crud! Welcome everybody to the Evolve live stream here at GDC 2013. Thank you all for tuning in. My name is Blake Morse, and I will be your host for the next 4, maybe even 5 hours of awesomeness. We got a ton of demos and interviews going on today. But to start all off, we have my buddy Ted here. How you doing today, Ted?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I am rocking and rolling. It's been an awesome GDC already, and we're only really like one day in when you think about it.
Yeah.
But really, it's been 2 or 3 days of just awesomeness, and we are very excited to have you here today to talk about Dark, which is the game that you are here at GDC showing off.
Yep, we are showing Dark. We're also showing Demonicon, but there's focus on Dark today.
Yeah, so what is Dark? I mean, I know it's a descriptive word in which, like, it's hard to see, but, like, there's a game. What is the game Dark?
The game Dark is, it's basically a vampire stealth action game.
Vampire stealth action?
So instead of being a sparkly vampire, though, you're a cool, more blade type vampire.
So you're a darker vampire?
Yeah.
Well,
there's no light vampires unless you really want to play the Edward Cullen game.
No. I don't want to play.
Sell.
I don't want to sparkle or brood.
Yeah. Exactly.
So there's no brooding or sparkling in this.
No, not at all. There's a little brooding, but that's just typical vampires. Their overall sadness of being awesome for some reason.
So how does it work? Like, what do you do in the game? Like, what's your purpose as a vampire?
Okay, well, you start the game out and you are part of this military unit that they go on a raid and you're bitten by a vampire, and the next thing you know, you've turned into a vampire. You wake up and you're like, what on earth is going on? I'm a vampire. Something's wrong with me, essentially. Yeah. And some other vampires basically tell you, hey, you're a vampire, and guess what? Within the next day, you need to go find the blood of an elder vampire and drink it, or you're going to turn into essentially a zombie vampire. So that becomes the beginning of the story, is this quest to kill elder vampires and drink their blood, but then you start discovering the military's been captured. Every time you get really close to a vampire about ready to capture it, the military spirits it away, and you're like, what the hell? Where do things go?
So the government's after you.
Yep.
And zombie vampires. So there's vampires and zombie vampires.
Kind of. I mean, we call them ghouls, but essentially they're a zombie vampire.
They're what? They're eating people.
Yeah, they haven't fully turned, and now they can't.
Nice. So they're kind of like the Nosferatu style of vampire. Like, you want to be like the cool, like,
exactly. You want to be with everybody else,
like hanging out at a techno club.
Exactly, and that's how the game opens. Is the big techno club called the Sanctuary, where all the cool vampire kids are at, and they're, offering you a Bloody Mary. Of course.
Bloody Mary, yeah.
Just like in Blade, everybody's dancing and having a good time. You're like, I don't know, I want to have a good time. I just need to figure out how to do that without turning into a zombie.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody has that dilemma in their lives. And GDC doesn't really help.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So it's a stealth game, so a lot of sneaking around, I take it?
Yeah, it definitely harkens back to the older stealth games.
Like Metal Gear?
We even actually have, it's kind of an homage to Metal Gear. If you alert some guards, look at the question mark over their head or the exclamation mark. We don't abuse that. We don't.
You couldn't get like the exclamation sound though. That's
no, they don't do that,
right?
Or whatever it was. But what do I want to say? But yeah, so there's a lot of stealth in there. A lot of almost like Sam Fisher without the gadgets. So instead of all the gadgets that he has, you're stealthing around, but you have vampire powers. And so you've got 16 powers total, and you've got a basic kit of, for example, you start with 4 inherent powers, like the ability to drink blood, and the ability to see blood in an area. So instead of night vision, you switch to vampire vision, and any living things will show up, and you see the blood pumping through them.
So it's not like you're going to like a Motel 6 and like scanning the room.
Yeah.
They didn't clean this place up.
You could, that could be a nice side job.
A nice side quest.
If you fail and you become a ghoul, you have to go and do that instead.
Yeah, you gotta work in a Motel 6 clean.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So what about like transformations? Are you gonna vampire bat?
We won't have that. Instead, we won't be doing any of that. But you can. Some of the powers are transform into shadow. So you sort of form a cloud of shadow around you. Some of the other ones, you run super fast. Along with that, so you've got the running super fast. You've got teleport. We've got a short range teleport called Shadow Leap, which is essentially turning you into a shadow. You're zipping through the shadows super fast and then appearing at wherever you targeted. And you can do that, and then you can actually upgrade that to a shadow kill where you deliver a death move on the end of it. So you can take out guards that way. They never see you coming.
So what are the penalties for actually being caught if you're spotting? Like, is it going to reset the levels?
You get a chance to sneak away. I mean, we're not forcing you to play stealth. You can still play straight up action. I'm really terrible at stealth, so I use a lot of the action powers that can blast my way through the levels. The thing is if you get discovered, you get fewer experience points for each kill. So if I wake you up versus coming up behind you and just drinking your blood and knocking you out, if I wake you up, you suddenly sound the alert. The kill I deliver to you is going to be worth a heck of a lot less experience point wise than if I did a nice clever sneak up and grabbed you from behind.
All right. Is somebody in the chat room wants to know, is this a free roam or a structured mission?
This is, the missions are definitely structured. There's a distinct path, but you get to choose your way through them. So what powers are you going to use? Are you going to skip attacking this guard, or how do you? It's almost like I was telling somebody this morning. It's like a big puzzle instead of being actiony. It's this big puzzle. You use your vampire vision. You look at the map and you say, "Oh, there's 2 guards over here, 5 over here. I could blast through the first 2 with my powers." Maybe do the old ninja kick on the end of the Shadow Leap, or sneak up, save those powers up. So, it's not a free universe. You are free to decide how you're going to make your way through
the levels themselves are open, kind of like Hitman.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. And folks, if you're watching on the internet and you're in the chat room, feel free to ask questions about Dark, and I will relay them to Ted. And in the meantime, I'll just ask some of my own questions. So, let's see. What else is there to really say? Like, what have we missed? Like, what are some of the core features of the game that we haven't talked about?
Well, again, like I was saying, it is a stealth game, but it's that option if you're bad at stealth or you just don't want to stealth your whole way through it. You're not forced to. You can switch over to the more action-oriented powers. It's got an RPG skill tree in it. It's a light one. So there's a set of powers that are designed more for the action player, and there's a set of powers designed more for the stealth player, and you can mix and match those as you level up. You can say, I really love, like Ted's favorite, the Vampire Grip. It's actually called Shadow Grip, and it's like, I call it the Darth Vader move, where you remotely choke someone from around the corner, and then you slam them into the ground. So I just think that's hilarious.
That's why your lack of faith.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you say that every time you do that move? Don't lie.
Pretty much.
I knew this.
Yeah, you are now in command every time.
So here's what I want to know. Obviously, you're going to get more experience and stuff if you go around and you kill, all the enemies on the level, right?
Yeah.
So can you just go, gun out and just start ripping people's, limbs off and stuff like that?
We don't have that level, of course.
More civilized?
Yeah, it's still brutal. A lot of the moves, I love the Shadow Leap where he teleports and at the end he'll just come up and kind of smash their face in, or he'll grab them and do a neck snap, stuff like that. But we definitely don't have the limb tearing.
He's not a brutal vampire.
No, not so much.
Maybe a little brooding, but not brutal.
Yep.
Okay. So I guess the next thing that I would want to know about Dark is, when is this coming out?
This will be June 11th this year.
June 11th? That is not that far away.
Not that far at all.
Is that
more programmers are heads down, they can't even answer questions these days. They're just getting it into submission on the Xbox and on the PC. They're finishing it up.
Nice. Now the story itself, is it a linear story? Are things going to change depending on how missions go?
It's a pretty linear story. Straight up, follow these elements all the way through. But again, like I said, each mission will at least give you as many ways as you want to finish it. You could go back and redo it if you wanted a different way. But as a whole, it's bound together in a linear storyline.
Awesome. Cool. Well, why don't we throw down? Why don't we actually check out some Dark? Is that doable?
Absolutely. Yeah. Now this one's the PC version. It's a little bit behind the Xbox, so you might see some debug commands and stuff come up.
Okay.
But it'll give you a good feel for the overall game.
All right. Mental note: people watching at home, this is going to be a little different from what you'll actually see. So, but like, let's throw down. Let's do this. I'm ready to suck some blood. All right. Cool. Okay. You put that for me. That doesn't matter. All right. Are we going?
We are live here.
Sweet.
Hang it up.
All right.
Do we need to hit anything for the stream?
Yeah, let's see. Evolve people. Do we need to do anything? Are we good? I don't know. You gotta hit these. Let's see. Hit stuff. Let's see. Which computer? Are we on this computer? All right. Let's see. So, should we just start? There we go. There we go. All right. Sweet. So we are using the Evolve platform right now to stream this to you guys at home, and let's throw down.
All right.
All right. So here we are, spooky back alley.
Yes.
We're all started.
This is a world of dirty back alleys and grimy things.
Beer and girls all night.
All night. That's right.
All right. Is that where we're starting? The beer and the girls.
We can be in that area.
All right.
I'm gonna take us. I'll take us through a few different areas. Just give you a quick run through. One of the first ones is this Harding Museum, and what's going on there is that's the first vampire. You think, oh, I'll go drink his blood and we'll be all set. And right away you discover there's the military. They've gone in and they've kidnapped him, and so you're going in to figure out what happened here, and maybe see if you can still track him down and get a sip of that tasty vampire blood.
Delicious vampire blood. Oh, delectable. Ever so delectable. I love it so much.
So right now we're talking with Rose, who is she's kind of your core talker. She's always in your ear.
The best way for you to get into the building is through the
She's giving you your missions.
There's a connection to the foyer
she actually
on the top
runs
floor.
this nightclub where all the Blade-esque vampires like to hang out and party.
So what's your vampire's name? It's not something like Darkness. Or
No, it's Eric Bane.
Eric Bane?
Yep.
Bane the vampire?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
How interesting.
So I just threw on some cheats here real quick, just so I can show some more of the powers.
Nice.
But
so what can Mr. Bane here do?
So starting out, we've got this is vampire vision, so he's seeing the blood in their systems, and already, I mean, the newer build, which I just don't have yet, shows a lot more detail to the blood. Actually, you see the heart pumping and everything in their systems.
So you're seeing their.
Basically, their circulatory system
Thank
in
you.
progress.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As my 8th grade science fails me.
And you can also see when I pull the trigger, it's showing me the path through the level. If I wanted to follow that recommended path, I don't have to. You can avoid it entirely, but
it couldn't hurt.
Yeah. So we can stealth up on this guy. And it's just telling us, hey, you could skip him, you could leave him alone because he's distracted, or you could take him down. Why on earth would I?
Why would you let somebody live if you're
the Drinky Crow show? Here we go.
There you go. Chug it. Chug, 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 chug.
And what this leads to is on the top left corner of the screen, you can see some little circles. That's your vitae, or your blood points. And that's what charges all your special attacks. If you don't have vitae, you can't use your special attacks.
Okay.
And your special abilities, which I'll now actually pull those guys up so you can see the list of what's available. So we've got sort of a list of vampiric powers. These are inherent to all vampires. These you're never going to say yes or no to.
It's just stuff that vampires do.
Yeah, you've got the teleport. You've got Auspex, which is the ability to see blood.
Nice.
And you can actually upgrade it to later on. We go into the skill tree. We can upgrade it where You can see weapons, you can see motion detectors, that kind of stuff.
So it's kind of like the detective mode in like Arkham Asylum?
Yeah, along those lines. Okay. And then like Shadow Leap, we can expand it.
What's going on? Oh, and when it's coming out, what June 14th?
Oh yeah, this is June 11th.
June 11th, I was so close.
Yeah. So here you can see, like, if we did Vampire or Shadow Leap, we can make it so it doesn't make noise, because when you first use it, kind of an homage to Nightcrawler, it goes kind of a bamf.
You got
on the end of it.
Nice. As a comic book nerd, I appreciate that.
And so you can actually reduce that noise and then completely do away with it if you keep upgrading it. And then reduce the cooldown time before you can use it again. Also, you can increase the distance on it.
Nice. You're just giving yourself the giant Superman leap
right
off the bat.
Oh yeah. So and then in the top corner we've got skill points and XP, and how that works is you get your XP from kills. The more stealthy a kill, the more points you get. Completing different tasks will give you XP. That will level you up, which will then, of course, unlock skill points. Skill points, you spend those on buying these powers. I'm gonna cheat, give myself a few more, because that's how I roll.
Now, you people at home won't be able to cheat. Please ignore all this debug stuff. This is not the final build, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So Ted and Kalypso were nice enough to come by and show us Dark, even though it is a big risk to put the unfinished game on the internet with all the trolls out there.
Yeah.
So trolls, chill out.
You'll learn to take it.
Yeah.
You know, after a while.
Ooh, look at all that tasty blood. Now will the blood detection, will it tell you how tasty the blood is?
That'd be nice. You know, maybe we could ask for that in a future patch.
Blood types, different, maybe
super delicious.
Yeah.
Like really hot chick comes by. It's like there you go.
There's the blood I want.
Ugly dude who's drunk. It's like no, alcoholism. Stay away.
Well, will it get you drunk if you drink his blood?
No, unfortunately not.
That would be an interesting game mechanic.
Yeah. So here in kind of the stealth, we can see we've got a guy at a lower level and a guy at an upper level. If we kill the guy down below, it's going to be really obvious to the guy up above.
Yeah.
But the guy up above, if we go for him first, because he's behind a short wall, it might make it so the other guy doesn't notice.
No one's going to miss him. Uh-oh. Oh, and you just bamfed him.
Yep. He got a bamf and kill on the end.
Boom.
And then you can actually grab the body and hide it, and this is going to show a little debug command. Will not be in the final game, don't worry, folks.
none of that stuff will show up when you're playing. It's just for me and my buddy Ted here.
Yep. So we're dragging the body out of the way, and the reason we went to first person for dragging the body is so you could keep an eye on the environment.
Okay.
You didn't want to totally suddenly give you tunnel vision as you're trying to hide this body, and you want to hide it, as with most stealth games, because you don't want the other guards to trip over and be like, somebody's here.
Of course. Like, hiding corpses is one of the biggest parts in any stealth game.
Yep.
I said stealth, not stealth. Because I don't know how to speak English.
And here's a warning, there's garbage on the ground, be careful. And throughout the game, lots of stuff like that. Broken glass, garbage, maybe even just a short little wastebasket. You can kick those over and make noise and really ruin your stealth activity. Now see, this guy's going to learn that smoking kills. Look. Himself, mostly.
Get it? Because...
Go.
Get him. Get him, that nasty smoker. He must be in California, because that's what they do to smokers there.
Just check something real quick. Oh, wait. Blood. There we go.
Infinite blood. We all need infinite blood.
No, we don't.
Yeah. So what is the mission right now?
The mission right now is we were going to the museum. We were trying to find this museum director who's an elder vampire. When suddenly we discovered someone's already been there, and there's all these M17 guards all over the place, which are the special paranormal police essentially. They're hunting vampires. So you're trying to figure out why did they go all out, like go guns a-blazing into this museum. Now here would be, if you're a good stealth player, a great moment as you've got all these guards that are going out on patrol. They're going to move around and, look at different objects, and you think, okay, I got to learn their patterns and then get this guy, then this guy, and how I'm going to do it. Not me. I suck, so I just go straight in for kills.
There you go.
Now, if I weren't playing with my cheats, I would get slaughtered just playing this way.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right
now, just to show you around a little bit, show you some of the fun powers.
So it looks like your combat abilities are also augmented, not just your stealth abilities, right? Ooh, that was a sick little kick
on the end.
Nice.
And then we can do, like, this regeneration ability lets you take the VTAG points, the blood points, and convert them to health.
Okay.
So you're constantly balancing as you play. You know, do I use my powers? Do I instead just try to get in close and get a quick kill in or drink their blood? And you got to remember the only way to power up your powers is to drink blood. So at some point you're going to have to get stealthy and sneak in there and make those close-in kills.
Nice. Now, is all the combat in the game hand-to-hand? Will you get weapons? Like will you be able to steal guns from guards or things like that?
We are gun-free. This is going to be, you've never... Outside of Blade, who was a hybrid, you know?
Yeah,
you never saw a vampire carry a weapon, so...
Vampires don't need weapons because they're badass.
Especially with everything, you know, we're equipping you with throughout the game. You know,
You'll have to get me
getting
access to the
your skill
museum's
points to
security
unlock
system
everything.
first, and then I'll
Kinda
get you
cheating.
in. Head on over.
When you think about it.
Yeah.
Vampire with a gun?
It really is.
Yeah, that would just be... that would make a horrible game.
Yeah.
Because you would just shoot everybody or drink their blood, and it would be over.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So one of the things I was doing here is with the Shadow Leap teleport. You can see I'm like aiming it right now, so I get that reticle. In the final version, and actually in some of the newer builds, it's got verticality to it now. You can leap up onto objects and climb up higher. In this version, it's just on a flat plane, and sometimes you can do it up and down stairs. But the final game has it so you can use it for a lot more effect. You know, much more, almost platforming. You know, to get around things.
Now, I know you'll be fighting like the zombie vampires, right? The ghouls in this game. Like, will you be taking on any of these other vampires? Or
yep, there will be boss battles against some of the elders. There will be. I don't want to give it all away because that's where the story branches away from just, hey Eric, you're trying to drink the blood, so you don't become a zombie. It gets much more in depth when you discover the military's plot, and then some of the elder vampires are coming after you. And I just show it just one other environment.
Yeah,
quick. We got some time.
Let's go to the hole. Take it to the hole.
Yeah, there's other missions in here, like Atlantis is a giant casino,
destroyed by fire.
and in the casino, your job is you have to make it through the whole level without using your
They
powers.
dubbed it.
Because the other vampires in the
Rose,
casino will detect
can you hear me,
you're
Rose?
there if you do. And you have to plant bombs throughout the casino.
Yeesh. That sounds really freaking tough.
Yeah.
So you have to plant bombs without being detected and with like just using normal stealth abilities.
Yep.
Like
Okay,
your mad
men,
skills.
spread out and secure the
Can
area.
you run through and beat up the guards without your vampire?
You can, yeah, you've still got that basic
come because of
punch,
the
that
sanctuary.
melee
I had to hurry and
ability,
warn Rose.
but then you make a ton of noise and everybody comes after you.
Don't worry, that guard won't jump in the
Yeah,
final version.
yeah. This is early stuff, so you're seeing it. It's kind of glitching out a little bit here and there, but already, I mean, we release a new build every day.
Yeah.
At this point in development, we're so far along. Just you want to play it safe in whatever one you know really well. It seems to behave like it's getting a little stuttery. Our frame rate's going. But just give you an idea, you've got these environments. We've got tons of graffiti.
Nice.
If you're really observant, later on in one of the videos that we've got, you'll notice we announce a new game as in the graffiti.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just discovered that. I was like, "Hi, I'm on the PR team. Why did nobody tell me this?" It's a super clever way to do it. Don't get me wrong.
Man, but there are people out there dissecting every single trailer. They're the ones that discovered it. I take it. A fan pointed it out for any.
No, actually, I did.
Really?
I was the first one to spot it, and it was like, "Hey guys, that would have been nice to know."
Yeah.
I mean, I knew the game was coming. I just didn't realize they were going to hide that in there, and who knows if it'll be in the end.
Yeah.
So I won't announce it officially, but it is pretty funny the way they did that.
Well, and if people want to check out the trailer and more gameplay and stuff like that, and try and figure out what game's coming up next, like where can they go online to do that?
You can just follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. We're Kalypso Media USA on Twitter, or if you look up Dark, you can just look up Dark the Game on Facebook.
Nice.
And we're there. And YouTube, we have Kalypso Media is our channel on YouTube, and you can see the video that came out today.
Sweet. So you can totally decipher the code.
Yep. So there you go. There is the quick intro to the world of Dark.
Sweet. How are we doing, guys? Mike's screwing up? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. There's a little static, but are we still audible? I apologize for the audio issues, folks. We're doing the best that we can for you. Ted, in the meantime, thank you so much for coming by.
It's a pleasure, man.
Dark is looking great. If you like vampires that don't sparkle in the daytime and
vampires that don't suck is our inside joke.
Yeah, vampires that are aren't 800 years old and don't date teenage girls.
Exactly.
Like, which is the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, I'm 500 years old. Oh, I'm 16.
Yeah.
Like, and creepy.
You know, though, that age thing was done right in the Vampire Lestat, when the girl, you know, she was how many hundreds of years old and had all that wisdom, but physically she was like, what, 10?
Yeah. And then she was just evil, too.
Yeah.
She was bitter about it.
Exactly. It's like, that's what would happen. You know, to be a little upset.
It's Kristen Dunst's best role. Was that Kristen Dunst?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Good memory on that one.
There you go.
The movie nerd in me just loves that reference right
it was Tom Cruise's most, like, natural
part.
he just, like, is so natural in a ponytail and a frilly shirt.
He didn't even have to wear high heels.
All right, so Dark coming out June 11th.
Yep, June 11th of this year.
PC 360.
PC and 360. Going to be available digitally too for PC.
Nice. And you guys are also showing off a couple other games at GDC for people to check out.
Yeah, we have Demonicon in our booth.
Demonicon. What's Demonicon? Just a quick little.
Demonicon's, so that's a third-person action RPG along the lines of, say, like a Diablo or a lot like a Dead Island kind of thing, except it's a fantasy game.
All right.
And the big differentiator for us on that one is that we've got a really extensive story in it, because it follows the Dark Eye license, which is essentially the European version of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
So we took the dark story elements of that game world. We're not taking the rule set or any of the pen and paper stuff like that, but we are taking the storylines of the world where, you know, nothing is pure good, nothing is pure evil, everything's sort of riding chaotic neutral all day. If you want a D&D reference as to how the whole game world is.
Nice. Well, that sounds cool. And people can also check that out at your on your Facebooks and Twitters and all that stuff. Kalypso Media USA.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, Ted, thanks for coming by. Stay tuned,
Always
guys.
pleasure.
What do we got coming up next? We got Heroes and Generals coming up next. We'll be back in about 2 or 3 minutes here, probably, with more awesome goodness. This is Evolve live on Twitch for GDC 2013. Stay tuned. All right. I don't think we're off the air, but